Good morning, children. Hope you are all fine. Yesterday we had discussed about properties of whole numbers, all properties. Today we will discuss about properties of integers. You know what is an integer? Whole number along with negative numbers are called as integers. Integers are denoted as represented as a letter capital I. So I equals to, so here I equals to set of minus 3, minus 2, minus 1, 0, 1, 2 and so on. Okay children, this is a representation of I. These are all 0 positive integers along with negative integers. Okay. So now we discuss about properties of integers. First one is properties of integers, closure law. Closure law. Properties of integers, closure law. So in this first one, addition. Take some examples, children. So properties of integers, closure law with respect to addition. Suppose if you take any integer from the set of integers, I have taken as minus 3, okay, plus again you take another minus 2. So minus 3 plus minus 2, that equals to what, children? Minus 3 plus minus 2. You have to add both negative numbers. When we add both negative numbers, we get minus 3 plus 2, 5, minus 5. So minus 3 is an integer, minus 2 is also an integer, the sum of two integers is also an integer. So minus 5 is also an integer. Next, take another one, minus 3 plus 2. Minus 3 plus 2. One is a negative integer, other one is positive integer along with addition. So minus 3 plus 2 is nothing but one is positive, one is negative. So you have to subtract 3 minus 2, how much? 1. So bigger number has its sign, minus sign, so minus 1. So minus 1 is also an integer. Next, 3 plus 2, both are positives, plus 3 plus 2 addition. So you will get what? Plus 5 or 5, plus 5 or 5. So you observe here, you observe that if you add any two integers, whether both are negative integers or both are positive integers, one is positive, the other one is negative, but the result is also an integer. Minus 5 is an integer, minus 1 is also an integer, plus 5 is also an integer. Okay children, suppose one more example, plus 3 and minus 2 addition, positive integer, negative integer addition. When one is positive, the other one is negative. When we add, you have to subtract. One is positive, one is negative. Here observe these two, children. So here observe these two. Negative integer, positive integer addition. Positive integer, negative integer addition. So addition of positive and negative integers, and addition of opposite signs. What you have to do? You have to subtract from bigger number to smaller number, and after keep bigger number sign. Here minus 3 plus 2, subtract 3 minus 2, how much? 1. Here bigger number what? Out of 2 and 3 is the bigger number. What is the sign? Minus sign, so minus 1. Take this one, positive, negative addition. So you have to subtract it. 3 minus 2, 1. What is the bigger number here? 3 is the bigger number. Don't consider the sign. 3 is the bigger number. So here what is the sign here? Plus. So plus 1. So from this we concluded that the sum of any two integers is always an integer. Okay children, what is the conclusion? The sum of any two integers, the sum of any two integers is always an integer. Is always an integer. Is always an integer. So the sum of any two integers is is always an integer. Or you write in another way. For any, otherwise you write another way also. For any integers a and b, for any integers a and b means a may be positive or negative, b also positive or negative, any integer. For any integer a and b, a plus b is an integer, is also an integer, is also an integer. Or we can write in another way. For all a comma b belongs to I or z, belongs to I or z. You know children, this can be also set of integers also can be indicated as capital letter Z or I. So for all a comma b belongs to I, this is the symbol for what? Belongs to. What is this? Belongs to. What is the meaning of belongs to? The elements are in the set of integers. So the elements a is in the set of integer, b is also in the set of integer. So a, b, for all a belongs to I. For all means you have take any integer from the set of integers. For all. Belongs to means a is an integer of a belongs to an element of set of integers I. B is also belongs to set of integers. Belongs to means the b is an element in I. A is also an element in I. I means what here? Set of integers. So you select two numbers from the set of integers, that is a, b belongs to I. Therefore, that implies a plus b belongs to I. A plus b belongs to I. So a is an element in the set of integers I. B is also an element in the set of integers I. Then a plus b, the sum is also an integer in set of integers. Okay, this is called Clauser law with respect to addition. So Clauser law with respect to addition is satisfied, children? Yes, satisfies. So what happens here? Properties of integers for Clauser law with respect to addition is satisfied. So properties of integers is satisfied for Clauser law with respect to addition, because if you add any two numbers from the set of integers, the result is also an integer. That is, the sum of any two integers is always an integer. For otherwise, you can write in another way. Or for any integers a and b, a plus b is an integer. Or another way, for all a comma b belongs to I, a plus b belongs to I. So we concluded that what we conclude from this one? Clauser law is satisfied for whole numbers with respect to addition. WRT means with respect to addition. With respect to addition. So Clauser law is satisfied for whole numbers with respect to addition. Okay, children? So children, here whole numbers. So in the same way, this is also applicable for integers also. Because in this earlier class we discussed about whole numbers. So whole numbers also satisfy Clauser property. So in the same way, Clauser law is satisfied for integers with respect to addition. The same property is also satisfied for whole numbers and also integers and also natural numbers. Okay, children? Next one, addition completed. Now the same law, Clauser law, with respect to subtraction. So for subtraction, take for example, take any two integers from the set of integers. Suppose take one integer -3, another integer -2, -3, -2. So -3 one integer, another integer -2. Subtraction means again minus. So that equals to -3 and -2. You have to subtract. The -3, minus into minus what? +2. That equals to -3 plus 2. One is positive, one is negative. So addition, because 2 is positive integer, 3 is negative integer. In between addition symbol is. So when we add, we subtract it. 3 minus 2, 1. Bigger number has x sign, minus sign. So -1. So -3 is an integer, -2 is also an integer. The subtraction is also an integer. -1 is also an integer. Next one, -5 plus 2. -5 plus 2 by subtraction. So that equals to -5. Here minus into here what is there? +2. So minus into plus what? -2. -5 -2 that equals to -7. -7 is also an integer. Here -5 is an integer, 2 is also an integer. With respect to subtraction, -7 is also an integer. Next one, take positives 2 and 5. So 2 minus 5, because subtraction. 2 is a positive integer, 5 is also positive integer. You select from the set of integers. So 2 minus 5 equals to -3 is also an integer. Next, 10 minus 6. 10 is an integer, positive integer. 6 is also a positive integer. Subtraction, we want subtraction. That is 10 minus 6 equals to 4 plus 4 is also an integer. Okay children, here you observe here properties of integers, clausal with respect to subtraction. Before we discussed about addition, same property with addition, now same property with subtraction. Okay, so take this -3 is an integer, negative integer, -2 is also a negative integer. When we subtract two negative integers, you will get -1, that is also an integer. So when we subtract, the result is also an integer. Okay, if you take the second example, -5 is a negative integer, 2 is a positive integer. Here we are using the symbol is subtraction, means minus symbol. So when we subtract it, you will get -7. -7 is also an element in set of integers. Next, here 2 is a positive integer, 5 is also a positive integer. When we subtract, you will get -3, because minus means you have to subtract. 5 minus 2, 3. Bigger number have -7, so -3. So both are positives. When we subtract, you will get a negative integer, that is -3 is also an integer in the set of integers. Next, 10 is an integer, 6 is also an integer. When we subtract these two positive integers, you will get 4. 4 is also an integer. So what we have to hear from this? We calculate that the difference of any two integers, is always an integer with respect to Clausal law. Okay, with respect to Clausal law. So then we concluded that the difference means minus. The difference of any two integers, is always an integer. So the difference of any two integers is always an integer. If you take any two integers, whether it is a positive integer or negative integer, or both are positives or both are negatives, when we subtract, the result is also an element in the set of integers. The result means the resulting number, that we call it as an element also. The resulting number, whatever the number, may be -1 or -7 or -3 or 4, they are all called elements also. They are in the set of integers only. So we finally conclude that the difference of any two integers is always an integer. We can write in another way also for this one, that is, for any two integers A and B, for any two integers A and B, A minus B is also an integer. A minus b is also an integer. So a means maybe minus 3, minus 2, minus 1, 0, anyone. B means any one of these integers. Correct. So then a minus b is also an integer. That is a positive integer and negative integer. Okay, children? Right. So we write in another way also. That is for all a comma b belongs to Z or I. So a is an element in the set of integers. B is also an element in the set of integers. For all means any integer. Take any integer from the set of integers. So that is a minus b belongs to Z or I. A minus b belongs to. This is called belongs to. Belongs to means what? The element or the number is in the set of that particular integer set. Okay, that is belongs to. Okay, children. So from this we conclude that what we conclude that from this, children. So Clausen law is satisfied for integers with respect to subtraction. Before we discuss about Clausen law is satisfied for integers with respect to addition. The same way second one, subtraction. You know 4 fundamental operations, children. First addition, next is subtraction, next we will move to multiplication, next we will move to division for only Clausen law. According to Clausen law, addition is possible or not, subtraction is possible or not, multiplication is possible or not, is division possible or not, we will check by using integers. Okay, children. So from this subtraction what happens? Clausen law is satisfied for whole numbers with the rest. Sorry, children. For whole numbers in the same way integers also. For integers, we take this for integers. For integers with respect to subtraction. So here we check which one, addition and subtraction. So Clausen law is satisfied for integers with respect to addition and also with respect to subtraction. Now we will move to multiplication. Next third fundamental operation was multiplication. So multiplication means product. What is multiplication for Clausen law? The product of any two integers is always an integer. So for example 5 into minus 2, positive integer, negative integer, product. 5 2s are 10. Here positive integer, sign what? Here plus symbol this is. Here symbol what? Minus symbol. Plus into minus. So minus 10. Suppose another example, minus 5 into plus 2. So minus 5 is an integer, plus 2 is an integer. My product 5 2s are how much? 10. Minus into plus, minus. Next example, minus 5 into minus 2. That equals to minus 5 is an integer, minus 2 is also an integer. 5 2s are product, 5 2s are 10. Minus into minus, plus. Next, 5 plus 5. 5 means what? Plus 5 into plus 2. Plus 2, that equals to 5 2s are 10. So no need to write plus. Okay, the meaning is plus only. 5 2s are 10. Plus into plus how much? Plus. So plus into minus, minus into plus, minus. So product of opposite signs is always negative. Multiplication of same sign is always positive. See, same sign, minus into minus plus, plus into plus also plus. So multiplication of same sign is positive, multiplication of opposite signs is negative. Keep in your mind. when we multiply two numbers, whether the numbers having opposite signs, what is the meaning of opposite signs? Plus, minus, plus into minus or minus into plus. The result is minus. When we multiply same sign means negative integer into negative integer or positive integer into positive integer. The result is what? Positive. So very simple. Multiplication of opposite signs is negative. Multiplication of same sign is positive. Okay, children? And after that you multiply. Everything is 10 only. See, children, 5 2 10, 5 2 10, 5 2 10, 5 2 10 only. But here the opposite sign, the result is minus. Here the same sign, the result is plus. So now we will move back to Clauser law. Product of two integers is always an integer. So minus 10 is an integer, plus 10 is also an integer. Okay, children? So we calculate that product of any two integers is always an integer. What is the conclusion? Product of any two integers. Product of any two integers is always an integer. Product of any two integers is always integer with respect to Clauser law. Okay, with respect to Clauser law. Or we can write in another way. For any two integers, A and B, any two integers A and B, A into B or AB, we read it as AB. AB means what? A into B. So A into B or AB is also an integer. Okay, children? So product of any two integers is always an integer, or write in another way, for any two integers A and B, A into B or AB is also an integer. So we concluded that Clauser law or Clauser property, we also call it as property. Clauser law is satisfied for integers with respect to multiplication. So Clauser law for integers with respect to addition is satisfied, with respect to subtraction is satisfied, with respect to multiplication is also satisfied. Which law? Clauser law. For which numbers? Integers. Next, the fourth fundamental operation is division. Division. Now take it as division, children. Next, same Clauser law for division. What happens for division? For division, so let it be taken two integers from the set 2 and 1. 2, 1 belongs to I. 2 and 1 belongs to I. This is belongs to 2 and 1 are the integers of the set of integers. Now 2 divided by 1. 2 divided by 1 that equals to 2 by 1 that equals to 2. This belongs to I. But so this belongs to I because 2 by 1 means 2. 2 is an integer only. So but should take suppose 1 divided by 2 that equals to 1 by 2. 1 by 2 is not an integer. 1 by 2 is not an integer because it is in the form of numerator by denominator. It is P by Q form. It is a rational number. It is not an. Is 1 by 2 Is 1 by 2 there in integer set of integers? No. Okay. So, but 1 divided that equal to 1 by 2, the value is 0.5. 0.5 is not an integer. So, 1 by 2 is not an integer. So, in all the cases, it is not possible. In some cases may be possible, some cases may not be possible. More cases may be not possible. Few cases may be possible for respect to division. Okay children, you understood well. Suppose 5 divided by 1, 5 divided by 1 that equals to 5 by 1 that equals to 5. So 5 is an integer, 1 is an integer, division of 5 divided by 1, 5 is also an integer. But when we write 1 divided by 5, that is equals to 1 by 5. This is not an integer, this belongs to I. This does not belongs to I. Does not belongs to means 1 by 5 is not an element in the set of integers. So the number 1 by 5, the decimal fraction 1 by 5 is not in the set of integers. So 5 divided by 1 is an integer, but 1 divided by 5 is not an integer. So what I said, maybe on some others. So here few cases may be possible, some other cases may not be possible. But the rule is nothing but is possible to all the cases, only that is possible. If one case is also not possible, the process or property is not satisfied. Understood children? So every case is possible only, every number is possible only, the Clauser law is possible for division. But here what happens from these two examples, 2 and 1 are two integers from the set of integers. I will select 2 and 1 belongs to I. 2 divided by 1, 2 by 1, 2 by 1 value is, so 2 belongs to I. The 2 is an element in the set of integers, so 2 is there in the set of integers. So division of 2 divided by 1, the result is an integer. Okay. But 1 divided by 2, 1 divided by 2 means 1 by 2. 1 by 2 is not an integer. So that's why Clauser law is not satisfied for integers with respect to division. With respect to division. Okay children? So therefore for any two integers a and b, a divided b is not an integer, not an integer. Before we discuss few examples, if one case is also not possible, then it is not possible. So a divided by is not an integer. Therefore, Clauser law is not satisfied. Clauser law is not satisfied for integers with respect to division. Okay children? So for any two integers a and b, a divided by is not an integer. Therefore Clauser law is not satisfied for integers with respect to division. Okay children? I hope you understand well for this concept. What is concept? Only explain the properties of integers. Clauser law with respect to addition, subtraction, multiplication and division only. So how this one satisfied? Which one satisfied? Clauser law is satisfied for integers with respect to these four fundamental operations. From this we concluded that Clauser law is satisfied for integers with respect to addition, subtraction and multiplication. But Clauser law is not satisfied for integers with respect to division. Okay, thank you children.